This has been an interesting transition. If you are new here, you probably came to this channel while Chris and I were living in the Northwoods in his bus and my van, and we are no longer there. As I've been transitioning from life in the Northwoods to life right now, which looks like visiting family and being in a more traditional home and taking care of a lot of things that need to happen, I've been thinking so much about who I am, in a way. Let me explain. There's this interesting dynamic when sharing your life on YouTube, because typically you're sharing the things that you're excited about in that moment or the way that you're living in that moment. And for me, those things shift, sometimes dramatically. For example, we were just experiencing a few feet of snow in the Northwoods, and in less than 2 weeks we will be down in Florida. And because of just what it means to share, there are pieces of me missing that I want to take some time and kind of fill in throughout this video. Mornings at home are always just as wonderful, but they look a little different. I have a few important things to do these following days. Number one, I am making more cinnamon rolls for all the guys at the shop. I'm gonna do that when Togo is almost done, which actually might be today. Number two, I have some really important packages coming in that I'm excited to share with you. Not the items, but I'm really excited to share with you why I have upgraded a few things. But we'll talk about that later. I just put coffee on, so that'll be a few minutes, which is the perfect time for me to drink my AG1, which is the sponsor for today's video. And I want you all to know how much I love AG1 and how much I appreciate them sponsoring this video and previous videos, because it really does make these Sunday videos a reality for both me and you. In just a single scoop of AG1, you are putting into your body 75 vitamins and minerals and adaptogens and antioxidants, a mushroom complex, and so much more. AG1 really is more than just greens. And I always drink AG1 in just really cold water because I think that that is so refreshing and clean. But when I get the chance, I do like to mix it in orange juice. I have been integrating AG1 into my morning routine now for about 2 years, and I think of this as my daily support for my energy and my immune system, my gut health and digestion, my liver function, my hormone function, my brain and neural function. I want to share with you guys the travel packets because I just gifted my mom a whole thing of AG1 travel packets for a cool reason. I'll be right back.
She gifted it to me because in September I'm doing the Camino de Santiago Portugal route, and we'll be out for 3 to 4 weeks hiking 15 miles a day. I'm really big on getting my nutrients. Like, I love to have spinach every day. Ask my family. What I've been worrying about, or not worrying about, but it's like, oh no, I'm not going to get my veggies every day. And then of course I'm going to bring those along, and then I'm going to feel good every single morning. And I'm going to also share them with my hiking partner Julie, and it's going to start our day off good. So yeah, I'm excited. We are trying to keep our pack to a minimum of 15 pounds. So this is going to have to be part of that, along with my water. Yep, so maybe we'll see you in Portugal on the Camino de Santiago.
I am going to finish up my AG1 and then move on to coffee, but if you are ready to try AG1, make sure to click the link in my description below for your own 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 individual travel packets for free with your first purchase. Those travel packets are what I showed you that mom is taking overseas. Also, don't forget to let me know if you purchase AG1. I love the DMs that come in about how AG1 has impacted your lives and what you think about it, so keep that up. I really enjoy it. One of the maybe lighter things that I want to start with is that I really love art. One of my goals for the Northwoods was to get back into art, whether that meant wood burning or making wooden rings, and I didn't do any of it because we realized that we pretty much only had time to work and live, because living took so much time. When I returned to what I call home, this is my mother's house, I got a hold of a construction company who had beautiful scraps and offcuts of 2-inch thick black walnut. An incredible find. So Chris and I drove out there and gathered a few really amazing slabs so that I can start wood burning again. And oh my gosh, has it felt amazing. I think one of the most important things to mention about starting this art project is how hard it is for me. And that is because I am really, really hard on myself when it comes to art. The time in the Northwoods and the time gathering water and cutting wood and staying warm and cooking a lot from scratch was so incredible to really dive deep into those aspects of living. And now that those aspects of living aren't needed anymore, I feel like the amount of time I have throughout my day is double what I had before parking in the Northwoods, which has opened up time for me to do more art and practice wood burning and to work on my perfectionist attitude when it comes to my own creations. I am putting together the cinnamon roll dough so that when Togo's done, I can hopefully just whip them up, slip it in the oven, and have them ready for when I can pick up Togo. Cool thing though, I'm adding my discard right now. So I am feeding my starter a bit extra because I recently offered to send some to my friend Taylor, and I thought that it would be a really cool idea and an awesome gift to also share my sourdough with my patrons if they want some. So I'm making extra so I can work on drying it out, packaging it up, printing off some instructions on how to start your own starter, and then sending it off to those who want it. We need to go visit Togo. He has been in the shop now for a week, exactly, actually. I try my best to schedule all of his like big maintenance work for when I'm visiting my mom, because then I have a house and a car. If you remember 2 years ago, I had the shittiest spring and summer. I broke down all over the country multiple times. Nobody could understand what was going on with my van. I had to get towed multiple times. I put like thousands of dollars into figuring out this issue, and it ended up being a $10 repair. It was just a ground wire issue. Anyway, the mechanic that figured it out was Chris, here, where I am now. So I love it when Togo gets to see Chris. Yay, I'm home! Togo's still in the shop. I'm at the shop right now. And I've realized that my solar is probably really low and not charging my fridge and freezer enough. Last night I just had this like, oh, that's very annoying. I just had this like sinking feeling of like, oh no, my food is gonna be like rotting in there. So I'm here to clean that up. The amazing mechanic Chris just showed me everything that's been going on. All of his struts are taken apart. I'll show you guys that. I'm really excited about all this work that's been happening, but first I'm gonna clean my fridge. Oh boy. Oh, that's bad, that's bad. Oh. Okay, the beer can stay. Okay, sometimes when I show this stuff, I get a little embarrassed because I do forget about stuff in my fridge, or I forget to put things away or throw things out and it gets gross. And also, that's just life. Ugh. Wow, it almost looks brand new. It's like Linnea never forgot to clean it out. I was walking these trash bags out and Chris goes, did you get the onion or the, I think it was a food product. I forgot to clean out my basket. Oh my gosh, poor guy. So Togo is getting both the rear and the front shocks replaced. So you all know that Togo is my home, but what you might not know is that I built him all by myself with no prior experience. And I like to say this often, and I like to remind people of that because honestly, I'm so proud of what I have built, both physically in my home and of course the not so physical stuff as well. And I think it's really cool when people talk about the accomplishments that they are proud of. Some might see Togo and think that he is just a phase or a trend or just a challenge that I wanted to try in life. But as of right now, Togo is my home indefinitely because he is my first real home. Before the van, I had never lived alone. I've always lived with roommates or family and at one point a boyfriend. So this is my first home that I paid for all by myself. I own it all by myself. And every inch of this place reflects me as a person. Also, I was building this as a past relationship was kind of crumbling. So Togo and Akila for a long time felt like really the only constants in my life and the only things that I could really rely on. I can just say with absolute certainty that Togo is where I feel the most at home, and I think that's pretty special. I just got back from CrossFit. You know, over the last week or so, Chris and I have had so many conversations about the Northwoods, and I think one of the hardest things for me throughout this experience was losing the strength and muscle mass that I had. I wasn't really even in that great of shape before I went into the Northwoods, but last week, going to the gym totally rocked my shit. And I'm realizing how much it's been much less in the last few years, but how much of my identity has been wrapped into athletics and like being capable and strong and fast and competitive. When I was in 8th grade, I told my dad that I wanted to get a scholarship to play basketball. And I worked my ass off to do it, and I did it. And then my entire identity was basketball. When you're a collegiate athlete, that's all you do. After that, I missed competing so much. I felt like grief for not competing. There was a huge hole in my life. I had been competing at a high level forever. And one of the things that I fell back on was CrossFit because it's intense and it's competitive and it's really good coaching, and it like checked all of the boxes. I wanted to be coached, I wanted to get better at something, I wanted goals, I wanted to compete with the people in class. The only thing that I miss being on the road is being a part of gym. It's literally the only thing. I don't care about showers, food, heat, pooping outside, whatever. The only thing that I miss is a gym. I can only imagine that some people looking in from the outside, they're like, it's just athletics and it's just sports, but holy cow, when that has been your identity for so long, and then you go to a gym and you can barely compete because you're at the lowest fitness level you've ever been in your life. Woo, has that been a humbling experience for me. I'm getting back, and I promise myself I will never, ever, ever, ever let that happen again. There's a little inside to my brain around that stuff. This is the most random video. I'm gonna enjoy my dinner. I'm actually gonna watch Elsa Ray and Baron. I don't watch YouTube, but I really enjoy keeping up with them. And then I think I might settle in for some more wood burning time. I'm taking a break on my owl. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks a little lopsided, like it looks crooked. I need to fix its head a little bit. All right, the other day my packages came. I'm so excited. I don't spend a whole lot of money on camera gear, which seems really silly considering this is my job. You wanna come up and be a part of this? Come on. A good girl. But there's a really exciting thing happening, so I decided to go ahead and spend some money on an actual good tripod and a camera clip. This is not sponsored, by the way. This is a clip that goes onto like a backpack shoulder strap so that I can just click my camera right into my shoulder so I don't have to wear it around my neck and take it off or put it in and out of my pack. And then, so this is a carbon fiber tripod, which means it's light and it packs down to practically nothing because I am going to Bali in June and I am going to hike the highest point in Bali. I believe it's called Mount Agung. I don't know how to say it. The highest point in Bali, it's a volcano. It did erupt, I believe, in 2017, but it is safe to climb once again. It's very difficult and I am so freaking excited. I think the time in the Northwoods was incredible for very like chill, recharge, really turning inward, but man, I am so excited for adventures again. So I'm getting all prepped so that I can film it for you guys and share it and share how epic it is. And I'm just like so excited. So I'm hoping too that having some really solid gear can just make it a lot easier for me to film my like backcountry adventures. Because I tend kind of not to because it just adds so much weight. But now I'm all set and we're gonna use them right now. Because I don't want to stop doing hard things ever. I am already feeling as though I am adjusting to the cushiness of having everything at my fingertips. So in preparation for the volcano in Bali and trying out my new gear and making sure that I'm continuing to challenge myself physically and mentally, we're gonna go rucking. So it all works out. I also have Togo back, so I have my pack and my weights, and basically rucking is walking or hiking with a heavy-ish pack, like an intentionally weighted pack. So I'm just gonna throw a 20-pound dumbbell along with my camera gear in my pack and do a few miles. And then guess we'll try it out. Wow. And it's just locked in there? Wow, how crazy is that? I normally wouldn't take a break and drink coffee when I'm just hiking a few miles, but I figured this would be a nice time to share something that I have felt is important, especially lately. As you guys know, I really love showing my family and including them in these videos, and especially my mom. I smile every time somebody mentions like, oh, we understand where you get your personality from or your adventurous spirit from or whatever it may be. But I do think it's important to include my dad in this too, because I generally don't. I pretty much leave him out of everything because I prefer not to talk about it. Hi, sweetie. How's all the snow? Often when I show my mom in these videos, which I love to do, people ask if I'm going to be visiting my dad soon, or where is my dad? And the truth is that my dad is with me all the time. He's with me in the desert, and when I'm fly fishing in the mountains, and when I'm in canyons with Aquila. Right. Yeah. He passed away 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. It was very tragic and it was very quick. He was just all of a sudden completely gone. I think without mentioning him, I almost feel like I'm not giving credit where credit is due, because my dad was extremely adventurous. He loved the outdoors. He loved to travel. He was constantly filled with joy, and he was so kind and he was so loved. Of course, who he was as a human and as a father shaped who I am today and continues to shape me, but also his death has. And I think a lot of the reasons for the way that I live, and also the things I want to make sure I do while I'm young, the ways that I view the world and relationships and death, it has so much to do with experiencing an extremely, extremely difficult, debilitating at times, horrible loss. And it's something that I think continues to shape me and continues to impact my life in ways that I still don't even know. I was really warm when I sat down, but it's getting a little cold, isn't it, Aquila? Even with the coffee. I'm gonna finish my coffee and throw my pack back on and finish these next few miles. And then I actually have a loaf of bread to bake at home. Boogieing on camera. I tried something new with this loaf of bread, and it just didn't work well. I mean, it'll be edible. I'm gonna eat it right now, but
Yeah, I can try a piece. Would you like some homemade jam on it?
no, I want eggs on it.
Oh.
See, like the middle's okay. It's just like it's not great. Do you want this part? Do you want the butt?
No,
It's also not as like thick and flaky. Like when we were in the north, I would often eat the sourdough bread with eggs and everything bagel seasoning, and I've just been craving it today, so that's why I'm having a little snack. And many of you have been asking for the sourdough bread recipe, and I am working on it, and I do plan to upload it this week, so just keep your eye out for it, and it will be up soon. All right, everybody, Aquila and I, and probably Mom, we'll see you next week.
These are made from strawberries.
Oh my gosh, you are crushing that.
I know. Well,
The bread knife is right next to you.
I really just wanted the jam because I feel like sweetness.
Did you open a raspberry one yet?
Yeah, it's been in there since I made it. Because whatever didn't fit in the jar, I put in another jar. But it tastes good.
Yeah. It's got good flavor, it's just not like fluffy.
Well, thank you. This wasn't expected.
You're welcome.
It's nice to walk into homemade bread.
Thanks. You're welcome. Okay, say goodbye now.
Goodbye.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun.